Okay, so wait. Okay, so here we are again. Another day on EU. As you can see, we continue with the downtrend here, and then I'm gonna eliminate the alarms, and then the uptrend changing. Okay, so here we had relevant liquidity, as you can see, relevant on H1. So this was relevant liquidity. Wait. Feedbacks. Okay. So here we had the relevant liquidity on H1. What was important was this trend line here, this huge trend line, because we know that they are inducing buyers here to go lower. And then we took this high, we took the relevant liquidity on H1. This was maybe relevant liquidity, but I wanted to put this one because it was the one that broke this point here. So, well, both are relevant liquidity, maybe because we had other uptrend. The relevant liquidity was here, but I don't care. And well, what did I do? Well, we had this move low with speed, reacting here, probably as an S&T. I was looking for a reversal to take this relevant liquidity on H1. So first of all, I took this trade here, as you can see on M1. As you can see on M1, we went lower, then we broke this structure here. Here we break a structure. This was the relevant liquidity. But after breaking this structure low, I'm having this S&T reaction here. I wanted to buy, so after this candle, I just bought, seeing that the other candle was opening bullish with this target in mind. Then it took me out with break even. Here I put my break even and partial here. And then after that, we started 9 a.m., which is my time zone, my timing to trade the best trades. And here we had the relevant liquidity on M1. As you can see, we broke this high. It was this liquidity. So we took this liquidity. As you can see, it works perfectly because it never takes this liquidity. It takes this liquidity. And then we take relevant liquidity, I waited, and with this engulfing candle, I opened a trade, which was 1 to 7, I think, maybe, yeah, 1 to 7 here. And then I put a break even here because I didn't want to risk, and then partial here because this was more or less relevant liquidity, maybe here. Well, I didn't want to, it was half of the position, like 50%. I thought it was a good point, Asia low and everything. And then it went up without taking the high, without taking this high. Maybe the relevant liquidity was here, because it never took this high. And well, I wasn't on the computer, so I couldn't trade close this trade. I would do it, but I wasn't on the computer, and then it fell down. to take the low again, maybe to induce more sellers. Now we have this and this, or maybe to continue lower. And then here we had another trade that I didn't take because I saw it on M1. Okay, so I thought that this was the break and this was the relevant liquidity. That's why I didn't trade this trade. Maybe if I have looked on M5, I would have more clarity. Like I looked at M5, but later on, so I was already doubting and I didn't want to trade. And as you can see, like relevant liquidity here, and I was waiting for taking this relevant liquidity here, but then on M5, as you can see, we took relevant liquidity here. Maybe this was difficult too because maybe it's not that relevant. Maybe it's here or here. As you can see, now we are having a reaction. So well, relevant liquidity. This one I liked it, but I thought this was going to be taken. So relevant liquidity, and then probably SMT reaction. Yeah. SMT or SMT or whatever you want to call it, and boom. This maybe was the correct trade, but I didn't take it with engulfing candle and everything. It was too big, and this was my target for the afternoon. Hold on. And well, good day because I had two partials, and well, we are up like now 2000. We were up like 2500, but I had a stop loss on Nasdaq, as we will see right now. So, and we started the day with 1300 maybe. I don't remember, but probably yes. Probably yes. Well, two partials today. It's okay for me. And then Nasdaq here. Remember we took some liquidity here, which is not that relevant for me, but I think it's interesting. Then we had this relevant liquidity on H1 here. We had an uptrend. We had liquidity here, which I saw it later on after the stop loss. That's why I took the stop loss probably. And well, we didn't take relevant liquidity here because it was the relevant liquidity is here, and maybe it's reversing. We don't know. And as you can see, my analysis was like sellers were induced, but creating buyers liquidity here. We took this relevant liquidity, then we took this relevant liquidity like low 61.1 and 61.6, as you can see here. Yeah. So we took this relevant liquidity, then we take this relevant liquidity and this structure, and then we take this relevant liquidity. I adapted here about buying to take at least this relevant liquidity, but I was looking maybe EU and I wasn't sure, so I didn't trade it. With this uptrend. As you can see, perfect reaction here to take the low. Probably this is. Well, I said that this was relevant H1 liquidity. It's okay for me. Okay. So then, with the timing, I didn't take anything. We didn't break the high, so we created more liquidity. With this reaction, we know that this liquidity is important. And well, then at this movement low, maybe something like this, but well, I think it's not clean. Here we created buyer's liquidity too, which is important. We took relevant liquidity, and we took this. I was looking for a buy here at some point. Then I realized that we took this on M1. We had this relevant liquidity taken, and then this relevant liquidity taken too. And then we went lower. Okay, when we went lower, I was focused on this low only because we had all the liquidity here, and with this engulfing candle, I think it was this one. I'm not sure now, or this one because it was like breaking. I took a buy and I got stopped, and then I realized that here we had this break and retest liquidity and breakout and well, everything. And after realizing that this was relevant liquidity, but it took this one too. So when it took this low, and I watched the candle reaction, and I put this trade here, not on MetaMask, sorry, on MetaTrader, because it wasn't not that confirmed. I had a stop loss, so I didn't want to risk it. But it was 1 to 11, and well, as an example, it's good to have it here. Nasdaq, I'm thinking about stop trading Nasdaq maybe, because I don't know if it's a good pair or not for me, so I have to test it more because it makes slow moves and then fast moves, and sometimes it's not clear. So well, I have to test it, and maybe GBP. I never tried GBP with this strategy, so well. And this is it. This is it for today. A little bit long this video, but I wanted to explain everything correctly, and well, see you tomorrow.